Hi guys. I would say it's good morning and good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're from. So today will be we are having our podcast today. This will be our first podcast, and I will be asking my wife a couple of questions regarding to breastfeeding. So there's a lot of controversial issue when it comes to breastfeeding, especially when it comes to like what is the best way, best I would say is best positions and how will you also like what will you do when you're in a public area? So it's just like, should I breastfeed my child in a public area by having a kind of like extra blanket to cover my child? So most cases like people think like it's not really like the word okay to have your I would say is your yourself being exposed or exposing yourself while breastfeeding. I don't know the right word to use. So more or less exposing yourself, especially when you're doing a public breastfeeding. So it's a quite entirely different scenario when you're at home and you're more relaxed. So I'm going to ask my wife today. I'm going to start by asking to her today, like, for her to tell you what is for her breastfeeding, and what she have learned during the past 6 years, because she have 3 kids, and the 3 kids that she have a different kinds of experience when it comes to breastfeeding. So we would like to ask her about what is her experience and what is her thoughts regarding the controversies surrounding breastfeeding. So hi.
Hi.
Can you please introduce yourself to to our subscribers, your name, and tell us a little bit about you. I know you're ready, so you don't need to introduce yourself to me, but you can tell our viewers here.
My name is Angelica, and yeah, I have 3 lovely kids.
Okay.
We are right now living in Toronto, and yeah, as my husband said, I have collected a certain amount of experience within the last more or less 6 years about breastfeeding. Yeah. So in the beginning with Scott, our firstborn, I was very timid with breastfeeding, and I had more the feeling I need to cover up because I would harass other people with feeding my own child, right? So Scott grew up a lot with being covered up, but at a certain point I was actually made aware that by law I'm allowed to breastfeed uncovered. So
Okay, so but you're saying that by law, so you were taught like by law you can publicly breastfeed your child,
yes.
and were you told that on what kind of parameters, or what do you need to do because let's be open to our viewers here. There are a lot of people that doesn't like to see that you expose yourself when you breastfeed.
Right. So
Yeah.
the thing is, a lot of people don't agree with seeing a body part like a breast or any other body part that might be sexualizing. Just give me a second. Which I totally understand, but on the other hand, I mean, it's the most natural and the oldest way to actually feed a child. And for me personally, when I take my breast out because I'm breastfeeding, it's not because I want to sexualize anyone, but it's because my child is hungry and it's a way to feed him. Right, Alan? Just playing with Mama. So like right now you saw he was actually getting really angry when I didn't feed him. So why would I need to cover up and be ashamed? Because like when you cover up, you kind of have the feeling you need to be ashamed of it. You need to, you're not supposed to do it. And that's, I think, the wrong impression that people are getting. I think the right impression would be people are supportive in mothers breastfeeding their kids, because breast milk contains so much more vitamins and nutrients that a child needs, especially at that age and stage a child is. It gives exactly the combination the child needs.
Yeah, I think that's correct. I think everybody like breastfeeding is very, very important when it comes to the well-being of the child, and giving to is just having know the fact that how important breastfeeding is for when it comes to a well-being of a child when it comes to development. Do you have any challenges when it comes to breastfeeding with any of your 3 kids?
All of my 3 kids. So each child is different. And it also depends whether you have been breastfeeding recently or not. Especially in the beginning, when you've not been breastfeeding for quite a while, it is actually painful for the first 1 or 2 weeks.
Okay.
But after 1 or 2 weeks, you usually don't feel no pain no more. I usually imagine it like there are pores that are clogged, and in order to unclog those pores, it takes some force to open them up. So that might hurt, and when all those pores are open or ducts are open, then it doesn't hurt no more. The milk is just flowing.
Okay. So when you have this difficulty, this challenge, I would say as a young mom, because what was your fear? Would you have any anxiety, any doubt? What were your fear and doubt?
I actually wasn't so much afraid of the pain. I was more afraid of suffocating my kids, drowning them in milk, because I have a good milk production, and I remember each of my kids has had issues. meeting up with the amount that I produced and I ejected in the end.
Okay. So, what is your advice for new mom like you?
In which area? Advice?
Yeah.
Covering, uncovering.
Some mom probably has issue that they don't they have the difficulty to breastfeed their child, given to many circumstances, different kinds of related issues. So, what will be your thoughts? I mean, your thought and advice. I mean, what is your?
I mean, my advice will be always give it a try. If it doesn't work out, there are good formulas that almost meet up to the quality of breast milk. Do not get devastated about it. Those women that can breastfeed or mix breastfeed and formula feed, that's great. Just try, keep on going, and try to give your child as much as possible. And yeah. I actually, as I mentioned before, I do have a good supply, but even I have had the feeling that my supply is not gonna be enough, and that gave me also kind of a pressure to produce more. Yeah, I told you guys that each child is different. With Scott and Brian, I actually needed to supplement with a formula. Alan is a completely different chapter. Alan is not drinking as much in daycare as the other two kids. That means I still have a good supply storage right now, but lucky me, he is not refusing my breast, so he still likes breastfeeding. He just prefers not to drink the milk from the bottle.
Good. So, when I will add to being the father of 3, and my experience also with my wife, seeing her breastfeeding the kids, and having to see her, with her first child. For me, it was, I would say, it's a shock. I would say the new experience to see the fact that, due to, as she said earlier, that the overproduction of milk, I was afraid that my child should not be, I will use the word like, I would say suffocated during the course of breastfeeding. But as time goes on, I came to understand is that you start getting used to having kids. You start getting used to how to be able to position your kids during breastfeeding. So it is quite and I would say it's a dynamic experience, because as the time goes on being a parent, you start building those experiences. Like, you ask yourself, oh my God, this is where I were before, this is where I am right now. So I was thinking that breastfeeding is a beautiful journey, and is a healthy, I would say, it's a healthy situation for people to learn, and also to breastfeed their kids, because it's very, very important. As we said earlier on, breastfeeding is one of the most, I would say, important that will lead to a well-being of a child. there are a lot of vitamins, there are a lot of I would say is immunity when it comes to breastfeeding. So given the fact that me coming from a health field, like I have studied how important it is to breastfeed and what are the immunity, what are the proper vitamin for breastfeeding. So I will encourage every mom that do breastfeed, like I would say is that they are doing a good job, and it's also good for the kids that they produce enough milk for them. So I would like to ask again, Angelica, what will you say to like, what will you do if you do not produce? Because there are people who have this challenge, they don't produce enough milk. So what will be your thought and advice to those people?
Okay, number one, don't get desperate at all. Like, it is the way it is. We are going to make the best out of it, but there are certain things I have heard of, certain foods that help milk production. For me, it was milk and cream, the easiest way to increase milk production. Some people say chicken soup and protein and a lot of meat. Then I've heard of breastfeeding cookies. So there are certain foods that should be able to help the milk supply. There are foods that actually reduce the milk supply, like peppermint tea is known to reduce the milk supply. And it also helps in case that you guys decide to pump, which I more or less needed to, because I started working 2 months after each child's birth. So at work I needed to pump or hand express, but pumping is an easier, faster way. There are actually schedules for power pumping, which is kind of pump 10 minutes, give it a rest for half an hour, pump 15 minutes, give it a rest for half an hour, and pump another 10 minutes. I kind of tried it, works, but I think if you have a kind of fixed schedule, you pump, it gives you a better possibility to increase your milk supply.
Okay. So guys, that is all we have for today. I would like to have your comment with regard to what topics that you would like us to discuss. And as you see, so this channel is more or less like based on educated mothers and fathers, because we are parents too, about what we have experienced and what has been what resolution we have had during those difficult times. And let us hear your comments, and what topic will be the next that you want us to talk about, to discuss about. And as for me, I would say thank you for stay tuned, for listening to us. as we have the little one in the background. So thank you for listening to us with with Alan. Say hi. Say hi.
Say hi.
Yeah. So
from my side, I would like you guys also to be able to share your own experiences about breastfeeding, and I would love a lively discussion about that topic on a higher level, let's put it like that, a level that is kind of a quality level, also for other people to profit from our channel, from our discussions, from our experiences, and from what we share with each other.
good. So thank you for watching, and see you guys soon. Please don't forget to subscribe. And for you,
Thank you so much. As usual, share, like, hit the notification bell, and see you soon.
thank you and bye from now.